Hey, how's it going there, YouTube? Leonard here, back again with another deck profile for you all. Excuse me. Uh, it's Friday, of course, so it is Fallback Friday, and we're gonna go over a really old deck. This is a deck that I personally found to be one of the most fun that I've ever played, simply because it's of a clan that I rarely ever touch, and I really decided not to ever touch. But it was cheap and affordable back in the day, so I thought, do you know what? I'll try it. The art was great, and the effects were very smooth. So let's take a look at the Artemis ride chain. I'm gonna start off with the grade threes. Play four. Battle Deity of the Night Artemis. Limit Break 4, Soul Blast 3. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw two cards, choose a card from your hand, put it into your soul, and this unit gets plus 5,000 power. So it's in that era of ride chains where your Vanguard just gets a plus 5k. It's not a persona hit ability or anything like that. It's just a simple 5k. But it's really, really nice draw power, and the fact that you get a card, any card from your hand into the soul, it can be a missing part of the ride chain if you didn't soul charge it or ride it in time, or if you just have an extra grade 3 or whatnot, just slam it into the soul. All helps. And of course, continuous ability. If you have a card named Twilight Hunter Artemis in your soul, this unit gets plus 1,000 power. It's ride chain, of course. Okay. Now, let's move on to the other grade 3s. I play 4. Wisdom Keeper Metis. This was a promo, but it got reprinted as a rare. I used to play Himiko, but I always had a slight disadvantage with Himiko if I could not generate a field before you break ride, because then the opponent would knock off all my cards or retire them all, and then the break ride's technically useless unless you just use the Soul Blast 3 skill to draw one extra card. But I'm already going to draw off enough with Artemis anyway, so I didn't really find it too useful. So in the event that soul charges were not going too well, because a lot of these things have to be on hit skills, I really, really like this break ride because it seems to help the most when it comes down to the soul charging. Its skills: Limit Break 4, Counter Blast 1. When a Genesis unit rides this unit, you may pay the cost. If you do, Soul Charge 3, and your Vanguard gets plus 10k. And when this unit declares an attack, Soul Charge 1, it gets plus 1,000 to the end of the battle. Let's switch this up. Alright, now let's move on to the grade 2s. I play 4. Twilight Hunter Artemis, the grade 2 of the ride chain, and because when the ride chains were coming out in the BT double digit sets, the grade 2s were always like the MVPs of the deck. Kind of like with Genovius, which will come at a later time. Skill is: when this unit attacks hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, Soul Charge 2, and if you have the grade 1 in the Soul, you Soul Charge another 2. So if this attack does hit and you've made the ride chain so far, you Soul Charge up to 4 cards. So that's really, really good. And if you have the grade 1 in the Soul, obviously it keeps plus 1k to become 10k. Now let's move on to the grade. Well, we're still on the grade 2s. We play 4, Witch of Owls Paprika. You can switch this out for the 10k vanilla if you want, I completely understand. And its skill is: when this unit attacks, if you have a Genesis, Vanguard, or Rear Guard with Limit Break 4, it gets plus 3,000, so it becomes an 11k attacker. I just play this to hit really decent numbers, because Vanguard's being 11k now, it's really, really nice. And if they play revivals and their Vanguard's now like 10k, all the merrier. Finally, for the grade 2s, I play 3. Battle Maiden Sahuhime. It's the Emblem Master of Genesis. Skill: Limit Break. Not Limit Break. On Vanguard Rearguard Circle, when this unit attack hits, a Vanguard, Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 3. So like I said, yes, a lot of on-hit skills in this deck to get your good soul charges off, but it really pays off when your opponent can't guard or decides to let it through. Now let's move on to the grade 1s. I play 4. Bowstring of Heaven and Earth Artemis. Skill is: when a grade 2 or greater Genesis, not named, Twilight Hunter Artemis rides this unit. If you have the starter in the soul, aiming for the star is Artemis. You look at the top 7 cards of your deck, search for the grade 2 and superior, ride it. It's, the 4th or 5th gen of ride chains. And if you have the grade 0 in the soul, it keeps plus 1k. In future videos, I might leave that part out because it's kind of obvious, in a ride chain, you'd keep some power. Except for the Tsukiyomi and Galahad ride chains, because those ride chains are just too OP like that. Now I play a 4, Witch of Cats Cumin. You can play 10Ks, you can play any other card if you want with this. But, just because, some of the, almost all of the soul charging abilities are on hit, so I'd like at least one card in the deck to just be, when it's placed. It's, Counterblast, no, counterblast. When this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, Soul Charge 1. So, it really helps. Now let's move on to the other grade ones. Now these are supposed to be 4 Perfect Guard, but I took this deck apart a long time ago after I was playing it and got kind of fed up with it because Genesis was never really my thing. I just played this deck to be a little fun. But this is supposed to be 4 Goddess of Self-Sacrifice Kushinada, or you can just play 3 and play 1 Quintet. Because it's just my habit, I would play a Quintet, so 3 Perfect, 1 Quintet, but I recommend you play 4 Perfect Guard because you're going to be soul charging and drawing so much in the deck. You don't really need any other way of decking yourself out with a Quintet of Wall. It's not really necessary. But yeah, just keep that in mind. This is supposed to be and was 4 Perfect Guard, but after a lot of stuff about this deck, like no one really wanted to pick this up off me because it was like the cheapest build, and I completely understand because I just wanted to make it for fun. Didn't expect to sell it to anyone anyway, but people wanted the Perfect Guards really badly. I'm like, I can sell those offshore. It really doesn't matter. This deck's kind of done with me, but then it hit me when I started making these videos and I wanted to do Fallback Friday. I thought, I can do an Artemis deck, sure, but it's missing Perfect Guards, unfortunately. I've never really had the time to pick up more because, like I said, Genesis is not my clan ever. But, it's the way it was, and that's the way I recommend you still play it as. Finally, for the grade 1s, I played 2 Battle Maiden Tatsuda Hime? I believe that is a really long name. Its skill is Counterblast 2. When an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle, this unit boosted a Genesis unit. You may pay the cost of use Soul Charge 3. So it's your Emblem Master clone, but it's boosting, and it's Counterblast 2, not Counterblast 1. Alright, now let's move on to the trigger lineup. I play 4. Battle Maiden Kukuri Hime. It's the Margal clone critical trigger, put in the soul. Give a unit plus 3,000 power. Play 4 Cyber Tiger. And 4 Lemonade Witch. Lemon Witch Lemoncino? I don't know how to pronounce that. 12 crit. You can play stands if you want, but I don't find them too necessary because with all the soul charging you do, depending on how many stands you play and work around with the deck, the stands don't really help. I don't play draws because you already soul charge so much, and you don't need any other ways to deck out, especially since your main draw engine is your Artemis, which helps so much by itself. So I just play 16 crit, apply so much pressure. And finally I play 4 heal, of course. Witch of Big Pots Laurier? I don't know. I don't know these names. And finally, for the starter, I play Aiming for the Stars Artemis. When the grade 1 rides on top of this, search top 7 for grade 2 or 3. And when a Genesis unit rides over this, it's not part of the ride chain, you can call this out to the Rearguard Circle. And that's pretty much it for my Fallback Friday Artemis deck, everyone. I really hope you all enjoy. Sorry for not having 4 Perfect Guards to show you. It's always kind of cheesy to present a deck to everybody in the world, but not have it complete. This is simply because, as I said, this is a deck that I made just for fun. I had it back in the day, complete and whatnot, but it's a clan that just wasn't for me, and I eventually got stuff. I got rid of stuff, and to present a deck that isn't really on par with my stature, I didn't really think of completing it ever, even if it was just for a video such as this. But I really hope you all understand it and still enjoy the video. And well, this is Leonhard out. Peace.